Let's talk about AI coding assistants. They can be an absolute lifesaver one minute and then a total headache the next. Today, we're going to dig into why that happens, and believe me, there's a really interesting reason for it. Plus, we'll talk about what you can actually do about it.
You've been there, right? You ask your AI pair programmer for what seems like a simple little function, and it spits back something that is just weird. Or even worse, it confidently refactors a perfectly good piece of code into something that's completely broken. It's super frustrating, and pretty much every developer is feeling this pain.
But here's the twist. What if I told you the problem isn't actually the AI? What if the problem is our code? That's the big idea we're diving into. The fact that our code bases, which make perfect sense to us humans, can be a confusing, chaotic mess for our AI tools. So let's start right there, with the problem itself. How in the world does our code end up confusing these super powerful models? This line really nails it. It's not that the AI has a bug. It's more like a communication problem. The AI is doing its best to understand the intent, the patterns, and the structure of your project, but it's just getting lost in translation.
And here's why. See, AI struggles with things that our usual tools just don't even look for. Things like semantic duplicates. That's when you have the same piece of logic written 5 different ways in 5 different files. Or context fragmentation, where, a single feature has its code scattered all over the project. All of this stuff creates noise that basically drowns out the signal, the actual important business logic. It makes it almost impossible for the AI to get a clear picture of what you're trying to do.
Okay, so that's the problem. And it sounds kind of messy, right? But the good news is, there's a tool that was designed specifically to find and help fix these exact issues.
And that tool is called AIReady. So what is it? Well, it's a set of free, open-source command line tools built for just one thing: to scan your code from an AI's point of view and tell you exactly where it's getting confused.
Now, what's really cool about AIReady is the combination of features it has. Yeah, it does the heavy lifting to find all those semantic duplicates we just talked about, but, and this is crucial, it's also free, it's open source, and it runs completely offline.
And that offline part, that is a huge deal. For anyone who works on private, proprietary code, you know that uploading your work to some random third-party service is just not an option. AIReady gets around that completely by doing all of its analysis right there on your own machine. Your code never leaves your computer.
Okay, so it finds a bunch of potential problems in your code. But how do you make sense of it all? How do you know if you're doing okay or if you're in real trouble? Well, this is where it gets really clever. AIReady takes all of that complex analysis and boils it down to one simple number: your AI Readiness Score. It's a score out of 100 that gives you an instant snapshot of how easy or difficult it is for an AI to understand your code base. So, if you got a 65, what does that actually mean? Well, let's take a look. A score of 65 falls right into the fair category. And what does that mean? Noticeable confusion. This is brilliant because you get an instant diagnosis. You can see right away if you just need a few small fixes or if you're looking at a serious refactoring project to get your code ready for AI.
Now, at this point, you might be thinking, hang on, I already use tools like ESLint or Prettier. Isn't this just another linter? It's a totally fair question, but the answer is a hard no.
The real difference is what they're trying to achieve. Your traditional linters, they're amazing. They enforce code style, they catch syntax errors, they optimize your code for human developers to read. But AIReady is doing something totally different. It's looking for those deeper semantic patterns and measuring context costs. It's optimizing your code for AI collaboration.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Both of these tools can be right at the exact same time. Why? Because they're measuring completely different things. You really need both to build code that works well for humans and for our new AI partners.
So you might ask, why should I even bother with all this? What's the real payoff for making my code AI ready? Well, the benefits are very, very real, and they can have a direct impact on your team and even your budget.
First up, and this is a big one, money. Cleaner, less confusing code means you're sending less stuff to your AI every single time you ask it for help. By getting rid of all that redundant noise, you can seriously shrink your context window size, and that directly translates to lower API costs. We're talking savings of over 40% in some cases.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This is happening in the real world. A senior engineer, Sarah Chen, said that AIReady helped them find over 200 of those semantic duplicates, and their AI context windows became 35% more efficient. That is a massive improvement. The second big win here is the long-term health of your code. If you make this a regular part of your process, you can stop this new kind of AI-specific technical debt before it even starts. So instead of having this growing list of problems, you can maintain a high-quality, AI-friendly code base even as your project gets bigger and more complex.
And finally, let's talk about team productivity. Tech lead Mike Rodriguez points out that catching something as simple as a few naming inconsistencies saved his team from weeks of confusing back and forth with their AI assistant. He called it a game changer for their workflow, and you can see why.
And you know what the best part is? You can try this out right now. It's just a single command, no sign-up, no credit card, no hassle. Just open your terminal in your projects folder and run npx @airready/scan. You'll get your score in just a couple of minutes.
Which really leaves us with just one final question to think about. As AI tools get more and more woven into how we build software, making sure they can actually understand our work is no longer just a nice-to-have. It's becoming absolutely essential. So you have to ask yourself, is your code ready?